Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. So, hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar, Financing Your Small Business with ATB. My name is Raj Bernier Singh. I'm one of the leaders for our team members training and development within our entrepreneur growth team at ATB. And I'm really excited to host today's webinar for you. I'm based out of Edmonton, so I'm curious to know where some folks are situated. So you could let us know where you're joining from today by entering your city in the chat. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Carrie from Edmonton. Got a couple people from Edmonton. A couple people from Calgary. Awesome. Edmonton. Hopefully no snow yet in Calgary. I know we're getting this last little bit of fall here. Portland, nice, perfect. Okay. So welcome everybody. I do want to start with a land acknowledgement. And so as we gather, we want to acknowledge the land on which we stand as traditional territory for Treaty 6, 7, and 8 nations of Alberta, and pay due respects for Treaty 4 and 10. We recognize the importance of these treaties and the ongoing commitment to building a respectful relationship with Indigenous peoples based on the principles of mutual recognition, respect, and shared responsibility. As an act of reconciliation, we also want to honor the authentic history of Turtle Island and its original inhabitants. We recognize that the land we stand has been occupied by Indigenous people since time, and that is a rich and diverse cultures and traditions of these people have contributed to the richness and vitality of this land. We acknowledge the injustices and harms inflicted on Indigenous people through colonization, residential schools, and other forms of systemic discrimination and oppression, and commit to working towards healing and reconciling with the Indigenous communities. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our today's topics and presenters. I think we should see them on the screen now. There they are, coming in. Awesome. Welcome, Taryn and Imran. I think I almost put your names together there. But so today our business advisors, Imran Verk and Taryn Dari, will provide details on what ATB assesses when a business is inquiring about financing, the various business credit products that ATB offers, and when each may be most appropriate based on the needs of your business. You'll leave more prepared to have one-on-one meetings with our business advisors to move forward in your financing journey. So a little bit about Imran. So Imran brings over 6 years of banking experience with him helping clients all over Alberta, and is based out of the Chestermere branch. He's eager to serve you in English, Urdu, and Hindi. Imran is passionate about empowering and educating clients to find the best solutions for their business needs. Imran's goal is to make your banking experience as smooth as possible. Banking can sometimes be complex, so Imran is here to answer all of your questions and help you understand all of the options available to you. Outside of work, Imran keeps busy with his family. That includes 2 young kids with the ages of 4 and 6, and staying on top of his health and making sure that he's reading good personal growth books. And for Taryn, so Taryn is a passionate individual who has been in the financing banking industry for over 18 years now, which has given her the opportunity to gain a wealth of knowledge and understanding and providing quality service to her clients. Born into this country as a second generation and a family of immigrant entrepreneurs, has made her understand the importance of multiculturalism and the empowering women in entrepreneurship. Being a business advisor, she's had the opportunity to create valuable success for her clients. And outside of work, she really loves to read, host dinners and brunches for her family and friends, and also try new recipes. She also enjoys spending quality time with her family and her 2 young children. So before we get started, a quick note to the audience. If you do have any questions throughout our webinar, please enter those in the chat. It should be on the right-hand side or your left, but it should have that chat function that you'll be able to see. And we'll do our best to address as many as we can throughout the webinar. But there will be some time for some questions at the end. So following today's presentation, you will be receiving a follow-up email within a few days with information on how you can access the recording, as well as some additional follow-up material. So thanks to Imran and Taryn for sharing your knowledge with us today. And so the floor is yours.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. First, what we'll do is we'll start with a high-level overview of the assessment and requirements that ATB looks at when reviewing business lending applications. Awesome. So what we're going to chat about first is the 5 C's of credit. So what are the 5 C's of credit and what is the purpose behind the 5 C's of credit? So the first C is character. And so what we're taking a look at is we're just making sure that there's no reason to doubt the character of the borrower or the individuals involved in the application. The next C is capacity. The borrower has the capacity or cash flow to service the debt that they're requesting. The third C is capital. So the borrower has enough capital or buffer to manage through difficult times and to ensure an owner's commitment to the company. The fourth C is collateral, that there is sufficient collateral to cover the amount of the loan as a secondary source of repayment should the borrower fail. And then the last C is conditions. The conditions surrounding a business or an individual do not pose any significant unmitigated risks. And these are the 5 C's of credit, and they are the main elements that the lender will use to analyze your lending options through. Awesome. So you might be asking, why are we requesting both personal and business financial statements? Like most small businesses, the individual shareholders and their company are too closely connected to separate out. This is why we would want to review the shareholder's personal T1 general and notice of assessment. This is to confirm income and verify that personal taxes are paid up to date. Another document that we would like to see is the shareholder's personal financial statement. This will give us an insight into the capital and or liquidity position of a shareholder, just in case they need to inject into the business if need be. We do request a personal credit bureau report from Equifax on the individual shareholders that are involved in the business. This gives us insight on how the shareholders manage their personal debt obligations and if there is any active bankruptcies or consumer proposals. The compilation engagement financial statements are year-end financial statements that are prepared by a CPA certified accountant. This document shows the financial performance of a company during a specific time frame. It also typically contains an income statement and balance sheet. Incorporation documents. So these will tell us if the business has been registered and headquartered in Alberta, that the company has legal entity active status. It outlines the company's shareholder structure and if the annual filings are up to date. And then for new startups and recently established businesses, we may request business plans and cash flow projections depending on the level of the financing request. This can add strength or mitigation to a deal. If some of the other factors need bolstering, for example, maybe your business net worth is not very high, but your personal income and personal net worth are strong. Awesome. So now let's discuss business plans. And I'd love to bring Taryn back up here. Taryn, I'd love to know, why do we collect a business plan?
Yeah, thanks, Imran. A business plan provides the basics of a business product and services, the market they are targeting, and the goals that the businesses have, how they will achieve those goals as well.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Taryn. And then could you also let me know, what are some things you would like to see in a business plan?
Great question, Imran. A business plan consists of 5 crucial pieces of collective information, which includes the product and services, what the business is selling with emphasis on the value they intend to provide their clients, a market analysis, a detailed overview of the industry the business intends to sell their product or service in, and a summary of the target market and competition. A market strategy, an outline of where the business fits into the market and how they will price, promote, and sell their product or service, and a management summary. This tells us how the business is structured, who is involved, and how it is or will be managed, and a SWOT analysis. Well, what is SWOT? It helps you to identify the organization's strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and any potential threats.
Awesome. And then just before you go, what information does the cash flow projection show us?
Well, Imran, the cash flow projection shows us the process of obtaining an estimate of the business's future financial position by planning anticipated sales and expenses.
Awesome. Thanks, Darren. So when looking at analyzing business financials, there are three key ratios that will guide us in supporting your application. So the first one we'll take a look at is a working capital ratio. What is a working capital ratio? Working cap or current ratio measures a company's ability to pay short-term obligations or those due within 1 year. The current ratio compares all of a company's current assets to its current liabilities. These are usually defined as assets that are cash or will be turned into cash in 1 year or less, and liabilities that will need to be paid in 1 year or less. The next ratio that we'll take a look at is our debt to equity. So debt to equity, it shows how much debt a company has compared to its assets. The higher the debt to equity ratio means the company may have harder time covering its liabilities. And then the last one that we'll take a look at is the debt service coverage ratio. It is a key measure of a company's ability to repay its loans, take on new financing, and make dividend payments. Awesome. So you must be wondering, how are these calculated? So these are calculated from the financial information found on your financial statements. And for the working capital ratio in specific, this will be found on the balance sheet. Remember that the balance sheet is a snapshot of 1 day in time, which is the last day of the fiscal year end. So current equals the current assets over current liabilities. ATB's benchmark ratio for this is 1.25 to 1. So what does this really mean? It means that the company should have access to $1.25 of current assets to take care of every $1 of current liability. The higher the ratio, the greater your flexibility to expand operations. If the ratio is decreasing, you need to understand why. The ideal ratio depends on your industry and particular circumstances. If it is less than 1 to 1, this usually means you're finding it hard to pay your bills. A ratio of 1.25 to 1 usually provides a reasonable level of comfort, and above 1.25 is even better. So the next ratio we'll chat a little bit about is debt to equity. So this is calculated from the financial information found on the balance sheet of your year end. So remember, the balance sheet, of course, is once again a snapshot of 1 day in time, which is the last day of the fiscal year end. So the total includes all liabilities and adjusted equity. ATB's benchmark ratio for this is 3 to 1. So the company can finance up to $3 of debt as long as there is $1 of equity in the company. If a company has negative debt to equity ratio, this means that it has a negative shareholder equity. In other words, the company's liabilities exceed its assets. In most cases, this would be considered a sign of high risk and an incentive to consider taking a look at other options, which could be bankruptcy protection. A really high debt to equity can be indicative of a company that may end up bankrupt. So lower the better in this case. And then the last one we'll chat about is the debt service coverage ratio, calculated from the financial information found on the income statement and balance sheet. So all the ratios I would say are important, but out of all the three primary ratios, this one might be the most important. as it measures the cash flow of a business that it has available to pay its current debt obligations. The ratio shows net operating income as a multiple of debt obligations due within 1 year, including interest, principal, and lease payments. Simply put, it is cash flow available to pay any current debt obligations. And then ATB's ratio for this is $1.25 to 1. So the company should have access to $1.25 available, funds available to take care of every $1 of debt payment. Perfect. We'll jump on to the next slide here. And so what is a joint and several guarantee? What it really means is the shareholders are jointly and severally liable and are responsible both as a group and as individuals for the total amount of the obligation. This removes the separation an individual has in registering a corporation, in that they are providing a personal guarantee that does go around their legal entity. This means that if something should happen to the business, ATB would be able to go after the individuals behind the business to settle any debt obligations. In doing so, this helps maintain ATB's risk position, in that an individual is not able to hide behind their corporation and walk away if something goes south, but rather will be asked to stand behind it and support it. It is a 100% guarantee from all shareholders included on the application. Awesome. We'll jump to the next slide here. And so we will be placing a first charge position at PPR over all present and after acquired property, generally known as an all PAP, on your business and personal names. These are the registrations generally used by all banks, which security agreements charge the entirety of a person or entity's property. These are essentially a blanket registration to capture all property owned by the borrower and grantors as a secondary source of repayment. Meaning, you must be thinking, what does this all mean? So it is a worst case scenario. You can't make your payments and choose to claim bankruptcy. We have a first place position to liquidate whatever business and then personal assets we need, excluding your primary residence as it is protected under the bankruptcy law. And this is only to satisfy your debt owing to ATB. ATB will only use what is required to satisfy the debts. Anything outside of the debt obligations is not a concern for ATB. And so this is why we analyze and review business credit applications, both personal and business. We want to make sure we do everything we can to ensure lending is in the business's best interest and that the business we are working with succeeds.
Perfect. Thanks, Imran. Now we'll take you through a few different lending options that ATB offers and how they may benefit you and your business. So there are a few different business credit products that ATB offers to our small businesses and entrepreneur clients. The products may vary depending on the type of industry that your business operates in. For example, business versus agriculture. What does ATB offer? A term loan. This is an option to help help finance assets with a set term payment to be paid in full by the end of the given term. A revolving line of credit. This is a revolving solution to help with upfront costs for cash flow gaps. MasterCard. There are a variety of card options to choose from to assist with your day-to-day purchases and expenses. Let's explore these products further and see how they might benefit our client, ABC Landscaping Inc. When ABC Landscaping Incorporated needs to purchase a bobcat or a skid steer, a term loan would be an ideal solution, and here is why. Term loans are primarily offered to assist the purchase of a long-term asset, such as equipment, land and buildings, or other long-term assets. It is a reducing loan facility with scheduled payments that will reduce the debt to zero within the set amortization period. Term loans primarily finance tangible assets which are then pledged as collateral to secure the loan. ATB's general business rules for loan to value is 75% ATB financing, and then with a 25% borrower participation. Maximum amortization for an unsecured loan is 5 years. When ABC Landscaping Inc. needs to purchase trees, scrubs, and sod in order to start a large contract, they know that they won't expect the payment until they complete the contract. For this, a revolving line of credit will be an ideal solution, and here is why. A revolving line of credit primarily is offered to bridge the gap between accounts receivable, so that means payment for completing a service or product that is generally invoiced within 30 to 90 days, and accounts payable, which is the cost expensed by the business or for completing the service or product. Business may have a supplier account that also acts as a bridge between accounts receivable and accounts payable. Smaller companies may have started with a business MasterCard and now are ready to grow into a revolving line of credit as a solution. Important information that we use to determine the revolving line of credit limit and proper utilization of the solution are: revolving line of credit should be offered and requested to assist with operating expenses and should not be used to purchase capital assets or equipment. We use a rule of thumb to consider a recommended credit limit, which is based on a 10% of your total annual sales or 75% of the accounts receivable. It should revolve regularly throughout the year and at least once to a zero balance in the 12-month period. When ABC Landscaping Incorporated needs to fuel up their skid steers or take out a prospective client to lunch, a business MasterCard would be an ideal solution, and here is why. MasterCards are designed to help out with the day-to-day business expenses. They are considered self-managed credit, which is a great introductory solution to new business owners, and this helps them learn financial management and discipline. Business MasterCards can be a great solution to those miscellaneous business expenses or online purchases and serve as a complementary product to the business line of credit or business term loan that we offer. These cards have greater rewards and tools to help manage your spending and an added benefit of ordering supplementary cards for your employees as well. Here's another example of leveraging your business MasterCard. By reducing the number of transactions you perform in your operating account. Business account fees are determined by the amount of transactions done on a monthly basis. You can often reduce your account fees by leveraging your business MasterCard instead of your business debit card. With an interest-free grace period of up to 21 days, this can be a cost-effective and a convenient way to handle your business purchases. Now, you must be curious to know what are the type of business MasterCards ATB offers. My Business Reward. Built for small businesses, this is a no-fee annual card. You can earn 1% cashback for every dollar you spend. The cashback is applied on a monthly basis to your card balance, or you can choose to have it deposited to your business operating account. The card comes with insurance and purchase assurance and much more. Now let's talk about our second MasterCard, Alberta Business MasterCard. With flexible repayment options and a personalized interest rate, this card enables you to carry a balance month over month, frees up your cash flow. The card comes with an annual fee of $65 a year. The card also comes with purchase assurance and much more. Our last but not least, Alberta Business Rewards MasterCard. Don't expect to carry a balance? Great. With our Alberta Business Reward MasterCard, you can earn 1.5 reward points for every dollar you spend. You can redeem the points for travel, merchandise, purchase, physical or gift cards, or simply convert points to cashback. This card comes with insurance, purchase assurance, and much, much more. Be sure to check out atb.com for additional details on our business MasterCard options. You'll be able to compare fees, interest rates, and rewards to ensure that you are selecting the right card for your business. Now, let's briefly discuss the additional lending products and financing programs that also are available through ATB. We offer the following: letters of credit, equipment financing, evergreen financing, farmland financing, Canada Small Business Financing Program, professional practice financing programs. Now, depending on the type of industry your business may operate in, or if your financing request has an extra layer of complexity, we may introduce you to another team member that will be considered a specialist around these additional offerings. This is to ensure that you are set up with the right expert at ATB to assist you with your business banking. Now we'll go on to expectations from ATB. With all being said, we want to set our clients up for success. That is why we go through a loan process cycle, which includes pre-qualification stage, application submission stage, application processing stage, underwriting processing stage, and the final stage, disbursement. To ensure we are able to complete our full deal, we will request documents from the clients and will clearly communicate the list of documents we need via email. Typically, a business lending application can take up to 10 business days. That being said, most often it can be quicker, sometimes it can take longer. We will keep you very much in the loop as we move things forward. As business advisors, we want your business to succeed. We will want to understand you and your business better. By really getting to know our clients and their business, we're truly here to help you in a holistic and impactful way. We may provide advice and additional services that will potentially save you time, money, and give you peace of mind. I know we spoke a lot about business lending solutions and financing your business. Just as important as cash management solution options will help you collect and disperse funds within your company. Here are many of the options that we offer at ATB. There's Interact, single and bulk EFT, online wires, ATB FX, Ceridian, corporate creditor, AGLC, Canact, and Moneris. Be sure to reach out to your local business advisor for additional information on any of these services. As we are coming to an end to our presentation, we wanted to share a few ATB resources with you. The follow-up email will include the slides before you will have access to all of these links. Need to find advice on any stage of your business? Check out our Entrepreneur Center website. Love the information we had to share today? Well, book a meeting with a business advisor to learn more about the financial options you have. Sign up for a newsletter to learn about upcoming ATB solutions and community events and relevant information. And register for upcoming events on Eventbrite.
Awesome. So thanks, Erin. I just wanted to say that, we're grateful that you guys are thinking about ATB for financing your business. There are a bunch of different options for your business, and no one solution will fit everyone. So if you have any questions, any concerns, you just want to chat, please feel free to reach out to us or any advisor. And if we don't have the answer, we'll definitely find the answer or get you connected to the right individual to help with you in your business.
And I just wanted to share a quote from Sir Winston Churchill. I use this quote in my times of schooling and even as a business advisor. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Awesome. I think now we'll open it up for any questions.
Perfect. Awesome. Great presentation from the two of you. Thank you. There's a lot of insight from what as business advisors you all look at, and what type of products that us at ATB can offer to our small businesses and entrepreneurs. So yeah, like Imran said, we do have some time for questions, and so we do have them start here. So maybe I'll start with the first one. From Gordon T. Does the liquidation bankruptcy terms make a difference if I have a sole proprietorship versus a corporation?
Sure, I'll answer this one. And yeah, maybe I'll just preface this, and this is the last thing a bank will want to do. This is not something that we are looking forward to. In many cases, we're going to work with the client to make sure that if they are having trouble repaying the loan, that we figure out a proper way of repayment before we go towards any liquidation or bankruptcy. So in our eyes, does it differ? No. But I would definitely get for you to speak to an accountant specialist to find understanding and benefits on why being a sole proprietor might be beneficial and why being a corporation might be beneficial for your business.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Imran. There can be benefits to both, like around taxes, around legal liability. But when it comes to financing, and where I think Imran mentioned it early on in the presentation, you and your business are so closely tied together. And so, where, we want you to really stand behind your business. And that's why, we do take a look at getting that extra layer of security. But like Imran said, we try our very best to provide advice and, solutions very early on, to help you maybe avoid that kind of bankruptcy, but understanding that it does give us confidence that you're standing behind your business, and that's why we do include that extra layer of security there. So okay, looks like we got another question here from Sarah McDonald. What if my credit score isn't high enough? Maybe I can get Taryn to answer that one.
Hi. Yeah, great question. Always talk to a business advisor, because when we do analyze your credit score, we can tell why or why not your credit score is so low. And then we can show you steps onto how to improve it. So definitely, connect with a business advisor, tell us what your plan is. Maybe we can make things work from there.
Perfect. Anything to add, Imran, there?
No, Taryn did great. I think the last thing you would want to hear as a client is just no. So I think at ATB, we definitely pride ourselves on to figure out if it's not now, here's how, and we'll definitely figure out a plan to get your credit score higher and work on the financing.
Perfect. Yeah, I really like that advice-based approach. Looks like we got another credit question here from Simran. How is my personal credit responsible and affected when doing business loan applications?
Yeah, so I'll answer this one. We will take a look at credit scores of all the shareholders that are involved in the business lending. And this is to get a good gauge of the personal shareholders. However, none of the business lending or financing will show up under your personal name if that is the question that's being asked. So if you're getting a business line of credit, we will check your personal credit, but it won't show up under your personal name.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I think, where we look at the shareholders having, some really strong credit and kind of repayment, and keeping up with their own personal obligations, is definitely a direct indication on how they'll be able to maintain personal credit applications as well. Business applications as well. And so that's why we look very closely to that credit score and that credit history of that individual, because those past behaviors do tend to dictate what those behaviors will look like for business credit financing. So, okay, got another question here from Gordon. Can a new business obtain business lending? Can a new startup business obtain business lending, or does my business need to be operational for a certain amount of time to qualify for business financing?
I'll answer this one. So as we had mentioned in our further slides in our presentation, that a business plan is ideal. So that's where that business plan will come into place to help us determine that if we can finance for your new startup. If we're not able to do it as a regular program or application, we do have expertise within ATB that can help you and guide you further as well. So yes, we can always see what we can do.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, I got another question here from Simran. What kind of options are available for business consultancy businesses?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to differ, I guess, depending on the business needs itself, right? So, do you need a business MasterCard to cover your daily expenses? Probably. Will you need a business loan to maybe buy a piece of equipment? In this case, I don't know, maybe you need a laptop, or maybe you need printer, or maybe you set up your office or things like that. So maybe a term loan could make sense. And then really depending on how your repayment works with your clients, maybe a line of credit may or may not work. If you get paid as soon as you finish a job and there's not much, I guess, of a gap, then maybe a line of credit wouldn't be the best option. But let's say you finish your job at the end of every month, but you don't get paid for the following month, then maybe we could take a look at a line of credit as well. So yeah, I mean, for every business, the options are going to be so different. But if there is needs, or if there is any, hey, this is the trouble that I'm facing right now, definitely speak to an advisor, and we can definitely find the best solution for your business.
But yeah, I think that comes down to when we're really exploring and discovering and getting to know you, as a client and as a business, right? So your needs will definitely dictate on the advice that we definitely provide, and as well as solutions, because they could go even further into, not even just financing, like taking a look at some cash management needs as well. So, okay, got another question here from Bernie. Are there any financials or lending products that focus specifically on Black-owned businesses? Maybe I'll just take that one. So currently, at this time, we don't have any type of specialized programs or types of financing for Black-owned businesses. We do work with a lot of partners and organizations within the entrepreneur community that do provide some offerings. And so we'll definitely share those out in that email, to include that we want to introduce you to the right organization to get you access to those programs. But at this time we do not. But it is something that we are very passionate about, of helping a very diverse group of entrepreneurs and small business owners as well. So, okay, so we'll jump to the next question here from Grant. So what is the interest rate on a term loan?
Sorry, Taryn, did you want to take this, or should I take it?
Sure, yeah, I can take this one. So the interest rate on a term loan really depends on the industry that your business is in, your credit score, also the amount of financing. So there is a wide range of interest rates, and you can go from fixed rate term loans or fixed rate term loans, I should say, and then a variable option as well too. So variable option is where it will fluctuate based on prime. So the best way to answer this question really is depends on your total industry, your credit score as well, and then what type of security, or if we're not going to be holding a security on the loan.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we do have a couple other questions in the chat here, specifically around interest rates. And so, when we are looking at, pricing and taking a look at rates and fees, it is something that we go through a multiple of factors that contribute to that pricing. And, Taryn mentioned a couple there. Industry, what's your NAICS code, the level of financing, the type of, product that's being included, the amounts, where you're kind of falling within your credit score, what's being used as security, is there any type of tangible collateral being pledged, or is it potentially unsecured? And so it really comes down to, understanding all those factors and making sure that we are pricing quite competitively and comparable within the market. So it is something that we do on a case-by-case basis. So I think that answers two of the questions for the interest rate. And we do have another question from Felix around, are you guys a direct lender?
Could you clarify what direct lender means?
I think maybe from what I've helped clients directly.
I think the answer is yes. Yeah, we directly to clients. Sorry, Felix, I didn't understand that question. But yeah, we will work, and we have our own, I guess, funds available to lend directly to clients.
Yeah, and so literally we have two experts here that we'll definitely share out their contact information that you want to maybe book an appointment with them, have a phone meeting with them, meet them in person. Very lovely people, and they're very experts in their field to really provide that advice and set your business up for success. So okay, and I think Felix has provided some clarity to his question. So you actually have the capital to finance the loan. Yeah, so we do, as ATB, lend out that capital, and that's how we, provide financing. So that's actually coming from, the deposits that are on ATB's books. So. Okay, so I think we have some time for more questions. It looks like there's another one from Grant. This one is a little bit specific, but Grant is, I've been offered an 80K loan from BDC at 12%. Does that seem reasonable? So
yeah, I can go. Once again, the interest rates are a very hot topic right now, and I think that's very fair. I think with business lending, there's a lot of things that you should consider as well. What kind of repayment terms are available? What, of course, if you were to pay it down early, what kind of fees, and of course, interest rates. So, if you're being offered that and you want to compare, I would definitely reach out to an advisor to see if they can offer you better repayment terms, better fees, or better interest rates. So I think there's a lot that can go into that question. And of course, there's not going to be an answer that I could probably provide to you right now. But with the interest rates where they are right now, we do see a lot of interest rate questions.
Perfect. Yeah. Definitely we're with the time that we're in now, rate interest rates are kind of going up and climbing, but it really comes down to understanding the client, understanding their business, understanding their need and their purpose. And those suggestions from Imran, if you do want to have a kind of take a look at what ATB can offer, for sure, reach out to Imran or Taryn. They'll be happy to kind of explore if that's even the best suited type of loan for your type of ask, and really see what else we can provide as well, right? When we take a look at really leaning into a lot of financing aspects here, how's your banking working for you? Do you have the necessary cash management solution set up to really receive and collect payments and also disperse payments, right? That will cause to have you peace of mind, convenience, and also potentially savings as well. So I got a couple questions rolling in here. So next one from Greg. What is the dollar amount limit that your team is capable in approving? So what is the dollar amount that your team is capable of approving? So what's the limit that we can go up to in our space?
So in our space as a business advisor, we can go up to 250,000, but then again, that's not restricted to. We do work with a team of experts as well, relationship managers that have a bigger threshold. So whenever you do have an inquiry like that, just reach out to a business advisor. We'll definitely get you connected to the right individual.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. So no cap at all of ATB. So I mean, whatever your kind of request is, we'll definitely do our best to understand it and make sure that you can qualify for the appropriate limit. But understanding that if you do grow, we want to grow with you, and so that involves with looping in experts as well that do have that higher dollar amount. So okay, and so. Maybe we'll have time for 2 more questions here. For Felix, do you think rates are coming down? That's a little bit of a tough one. We don't have that crystal ball, so we can't really tell what rates will do. Again, we price our loans accordingly to what's happening in our current economic landscape, and so again, we hopefully we'll see things stabilize, but that's kind of where we're at with right now for our rates. So okay, and I think the next one here from Felix: after we are approved, what is the typical turnaround time to get funding?
So typically 10 business days is what it takes for the application process. So by the time we get all the documents, by the time we do the searches and we're able to analyze your deal, it can take about 10 business days, quicker as well too, depending on the capacity of the business advisor. But then again, we will always let you know if you are in a rush, if it is something that you're purchasing right away, definitely communicate that with the business advisor and they will help try their best to work out a solution for you.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we try to work as fast as we can, and why we have multiple touch points within structuring our financing, but during that entire time we do keep you in the loop to see where things are at. And so yeah, if you are communicating that you do have a tight turnaround time, you do have a closing date for something, please provide that information up front to our business advisors. We can let you know if it's realistic or if we'll maybe have to get an extension as well. So we want to set you up for success, and that is with that clear expectation as well. But as soon as we get approved, typically we can see within one day, 1 to 2 days of funding to get you your loan proceeds or to get your business line of credit activated. So. Okay, looks like we got another question here from Gordon. So Gordon has asked, when is it the best time, or when is the best time to apply for financing for my business?
Yeah, definitely I could answer this. And maybe I'll just touch on Felix's last question as well, just quickly. So if I give a personal example, the fastest I've been able to get funding or start an application, get funding for a client has been 3 days. And of course, it can take a lot longer as well. So it really is dependent on your business and when you need the funds, and of course, how fast you can provide the documents. And then to provide an answer for Gordon's question here, when is the best time to apply financing from a business? I think it's, of course, going to be dependent on your situation. If you're feeling that, things are getting a little bit tight, your turnaround time for receiving payments is, extending. Some people are taking 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and you're getting close to, using up all your cash. Might be a great time to explore something then, as well as when you're looking at, maybe looking at buying a piece of equipment. Maybe you want to chat to see what all your options are. So it's going to be dependent on your business, your needs. And from there is where, we can come in and provide our solutions and, work with you as a partnership to find what's best and get what's best for you.
Perfect. So I think that is it for our questions. I want to thank, Imran and Taryn for their really informative and great presentation. And, thank you all and everyone for your participation today. Great questions, and again, it just doesn't stop here. This is where now you can get a chance to connect with either Imran or Taryn or a local business advisor in your area. So we'll have my colleague, Laura, post a link in the chat for to take a minute to respond to that survey before moving on to your day. Also, remember to keep an eye out for an email with the recording, as well as some follow-up material within the next few days. So that's going to include some of the resources that we shared, as well as some links as well. So it'll also include some upcoming in-person and virtual events that we'll be hosting in the near future. But that is it for us. I want to thank everyone for attending and have a fantastic day, and we will see you soon.